Here we go.
Hello, everyone, and welcome. It's good to see all Guardians. My name's Andy.
It's good to see you too.
Bungie on the social media team, and we're coming to you live here from beautiful Bungie HQ in Bellevue, Washington, with an awesome stream to go ahead and tell you a little bit about what's to come with Act 2 of Episode Revenant.
Hell yeah.
As usual, worry not. You're not going to just have to sit here and listen to me tell you all about it. We have some fine folks here from the Bungie development team to give you some of the finer points about what we're going to be looking at today. So, without further ado, I bet we go ahead and just dive on into the stream and get this moving along, because there's some cool stuff to show you. Starting with a man that you may know very well. If you've joined us for our Into the Light streams, you've seen him in action before and played his content as well during that time. Associate designer here at Bungie, Noah Lee. How's it going, Noah?
Yeah, great, Andy. Thanks for the introduction. I'm very excited to show off this Act 2 activity. I don't want to spoil too much. We'll get into it.
Yeah.
But I'm excited, so hopefully players will be excited too when we show it off.
It's good to be getting a new activity, man.
For anyone who may not have met you in our past streams, can you tell us just a little bit about who you are and what you do here?
Yeah, so I, as an activity designer, it's in the name. We make the activities that players play, and generally
just in time, cats.
Interact with when you load into an activity is something that activity design has touched, whether that be the enemies, the faction you fight, like the encounters, the exact tasks that we're asking you to do, all the way to the objectives and directives, and just general the activity flow.
Nice.
We care a lot about all that, and there's a wide amount of activity designers doing a wide amount of content.
Yeah.
I have the pleasure of being the Act 2 content for
Very exciting. So not just Atlanta where the players play, but Destiny 2 as well.
Exactly. You know I'm from Atlanta, right?
No, really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. Okay. I was just trying to make a reference that aged me. That's very cool. Also, next to him as well, we're being joined for the first time by Associate Weapons Designer, the one and only Mr. Taylor Bjorndal. Taylor, how's it going today, man?
It's going great. Good to be here.
For those who may not have met you or don't follow you on Twitter or aren't in part of your raid group sitting right next to you, can you tell us just a little bit about who you are and what you do here at Bungie?
Yeah, Taylor Bjorndal, Associate Web Designer. Been around at Bungie for quite a while, but somewhat new to design. This is my first release as designer. I did some work on the dungeon set for other weapons, and the Splicer and Garden reprises, and then a bunch of exotic changes.
Splicer. So thank you for all your hard work on the Splicer stuff. And then next to him, a man that needs no introduction, a friend to all
Mr. DMG.
We're going to introduce him anyway. Global community lead here at Bungie, Mr. Dylan Gaffner. Dylan, how's it going, man?
It's going great. I'm awake.
Yeah, a bit of an early morning for us here today, huh?
Yeah, but it was a nice early morning. I'm excited for this. This is going to be a good show today.
No, man, and I'm very glad you're here. For those that may not already be following you on Twitter or haven't heckled you in the
I'm awake.
thing recently, can you tell us just a little bit about who you are and what you do here at Bungie?
Yeah, I'm the guy that says we're listening. Ultimately, work with the community team, do a lot of the strategizing, looking at the forward-facing comms and all that, but then work with our community folks, our player support folks, and see.
DMG always does a good job at keeping in touch with the community, to be honest, on Twitter. Can't lie.
Huge shout out to your compatriots on the community team, to Cosmo, to Bruno, to David, the whole crew.
Alex, Eduardo as well.
Thank you. That's right. Lest we forget. All right. So we have a lot of stuff to go ahead and move along into. I vote we go ahead and start with you, Noah. Before we dive into the gameplay, just very briefly, we're now about to arrive in Act 2 of Revenant. Can you tell us a little bit about Act 1 and what got us to where we are today?
Absolutely. So as players know, we were tracking down House Salvation on Europa, and we ended up discovering that Fickrel has found a paracausal echo, and he's able to make newly Revenant Scorn from living Elixni as opposed to dead Elixni.
Yeah.
So we went across the system, freeing Elixni from the onslaught. The onslaught of Scorn hordes and, disrupting the Revenant Scorn nest.
Wow.
System.
Wow.
Now we're hot on Fickrel's trail, and we've found our way back to the reef. So, some Destiny
Just
players maybe have a longer tenure, might have an idea of what Fickrel might be interested in terms of reef-bound system stuff.
Very interesting, which I will say, very conveniently, excellent segue, thank you, leads us
How did it just happen?
Gameplay.
Exactly.
For, again, the Destiny vets out there, the Destiny 1 players who may be still with us as well, myself included, we are returning to an activity that's been reprised from the Destiny 1 days.
Absolutely.
Noah, can you tell us what we're getting into here?
You said returning. I'd like to say this activity was reimagined.
Yeah.
Instead of it being the Prison of Elders from Destiny 1, this is now a Tomb of Elders. This activity specifically is Contest of Elders, actually. Now, I'm going to want the fire team to hold up a little bit because I want to describe it a little bit for the audience.
Excellent.
So if those who are familiar...
Okay, we got a new SMG there, chat, an Arc one.
The Coil and Riven's Lair from Season 23. This is a similar kind of activity where it's a longer tail, more roguelite activity. one of our design tenets was we wanted to make it as variable as possible.
Yeah.
And we'll go into a lot of what makes it as variable as it is. But in general, it follows a lot of the beats from Prison of Elders and Destiny 1, which is, you go to arenas, complete encounters, and all this while the spooky, scary warden is kind of in your ear, kind of egging you on.
Yeah.
Instead of it being Varix, it's the warden servitor.
Yeah.
And players are trying to placate this warden rather than like rebel against him. So
Yeah.
the more you do that he says, you'll actually get more loot, and we'll go into that a little bit more in the future.
Excellent. A lot of chances to test out your Varix impressions, I'm sure.
Oh yeah, we'll
The
hear-
Varix impressions go hard.
All right, so let's go ahead and kick things off. So
Brawn
with this,
is an active
Was
modifier.
it basically just bringing back kind of the activity from Destiny 1, same races, same bosses and everything, or what are you guys
Absolutely
trying to
not.
do?
We wanted to. I think the key that I was really excited about was
Yeah.
I had a rule which was we want to keep the best parts of Prison of Elders that people love, the most iconic aspects. So things like dismantle mines. We might have some fan favorite Taken bosses and other bosses that people remember.
Yeah.
But the main thing was being able to modernize
Skolas?
not only the new Destiny sandbox that we have, but just the new vibe. We're in a vampire hunter season.
Yeah.
Why not go back to the derelict Prison of Elders and hunt more vampires?
Yeah.
And like you said about factions, in the old Prison of Elders, it was the Fallen, the Cabal, the Hive, the Vex.
Okay.
We don't have the Vex anymore. It's the Dread now, being led by some Taken forces.
Very cool.
Instead of the regular Cabal, we have the Shadow Legion. Instead of normal Hive, we have the Lucent Hive, and we have the Revenant Scorn instead of the Fallen.
Lucent
So,
Hive's gonna be in
all the
here.
races, You'll
Interesting.
be able to see it. It's really apparent when you go to their arenas, since they're all themed based on the races.
Yeah. So I'm going to bug you about bosses soon, but can you tell us just a little bit about what we're seeing here, whether it's the modifiers or anything like that? I noticed there's obviously a lot of chances to test your skill here against the modifiers you guys have put
Oh
in.
yeah. So we, for those who are familiar with the Legacy Prison of Elders, there were a bunch of modifiers that were on a rotation. Some were kind of beneficial, like Solar Burn, where it was like the enemies give you damage, but you can kind of deal some.
Yeah.
And this, all of them are beneficial to you. And actually, as a quick
Chop.
segue, we saw there, he was an old Destiny 1 Prison of Elders boss, a Legacy
My
boss.
PC's not liking
And,
this.
he's come back as a Lucent Hive Guardian, and we had some other few bosses who have come back from the grave.
Yeah. I mean, given that he's no longer just a Hive Knight, he's got both the big shields and everything. He's ready to go ahead and be brought back with the power
Absolutely.
of the light.
That's what just
some
saw.
new
We
challenges.
have some UI too that we were able to bring
Oh,
back
yeah.
from the Legacy Prison of Elders. Every time you get a new modifier, it appears on the screen in the middle of the screen, and you're able to be like, oh, it's Chill Touch or it's Counterfeit.
Yeah.
Because we have some of the new modifiers that were in episode Revenant
Very fun.
that are in here. We got Counterfeit. We got
I closed TikTok.
Haste. We got Brawn, if people have had experience with that, and a few other things like Chill Touch,
Yeah.
Scrapper, Grounded, a few other things.
Yeah.
Grounded.
A lot of
Blech.
to get good.
Yeah.
What was-
Opportunities
No, we don't want grounded.
turn out. It's a bomb. Oops.
I love that one. That's one of my favorite perks, actually.
That never happens to me all the time.
Being hit by a it's fine.
It's really
Chat,
nice, though.
it doesn't matter anyway. Just play Titan.
Yeah, I want to
No,
shout
we're
out.
getting into
Shout out our engineering team for being able to bring this in, and our UI team for kind of everyone came together and had a strike force so that we could bring this back. It was no small feat, but I'm glad it works, as we intended
Yeah.
it to.
No, we appreciate it. As someone who intends to spend a ridiculous amount of time in here, thank you, and yours for your hard work.
Absolutely.
So
I kind of wanted to talk about one more
Please.
thing
Yeah.
in terms of how this activity is structured.
Yeah.
I'd say it's very close to Riven's Lair. For those who remembered, Riven's Lair, you kind of had a trap room, then an encounter, then another trap room, then a boss. In this, it's slightly more action focused. So we have, as we saw, that cryopod encounter first. Then you'll have a faction encounter. It'll take you to a random arena.
Yeah.
Throughout the prison. It's still shaped like the spokes, like in the.
I'm really excited for this. I'm
You'll
excited
have
to play
a
this.
traversal section, and then you'll have a boss. And then after that, you will get pulled into the warden's office and get your loot, and then
Yeah.
you'll run around the loop again.
Yeah.
In every single encounter, you're going to have a challenge, and for bosses specifically, you're going to have a critical objective. And that kind of all goes into like this in-activity reputation system
Yeah.
that's called the Warden's Judgment. When you read the rules, for all my players who like to read,
Yeah.
you can see what that is, but I know people don't read, so I'm going to try to explain it the best I can.
Why were you staring right at me when you said that? That's so weird.
I don't read either.
That's okay. All right, fair.
I literally will look at it and I'll be like, I don't care.
I'll figure.
Launch.
Yeah.
Riven's Lair was a banger, bro.
So the
Coil
Warden's
activity
Judgment
was
is
really
a
good.
Pretty simple
Very loot rewarding too.
mechanic we have that's meant to address some of the feedback that we've gotten from the coil specifically. So for those who are very experienced with that activity, people were very much questioning how do you get to the wish chamber, like how many wishing glass you need to get. Like if you felt like you didn't get the loot goblin, you were like, oh, I didn't get the wish chamber. We found out statistically that most people had already surpassed the threshold they need to get to the wish chamber, but it just missing out things felt bad, and it initially kind of like.
It looks good, man. This activity looks really good.
I don't want to get to the very end and see if I didn't get to it.
Right.
Heritage goes hard.
To address that, the Warden
As
Judgment is
always.
kind of like a inactivity way to check how well you're doing. There will be a buff on the top of your screen, then it'll kind of dictate how well you're doing. So when you complete a challenge or a bonus objective, your Warden's Judgment will increase. It can get all the way up.
I'm glad they reimagined it.
If you do not complete the objective within the time limit, you will go down a level. And if you're in Warden's Punishment, the activity gets a little bit easier. We have less elites, less mini bosses.
Because I'm sick and tired of. I'd rather have new over old, personally.
But the better you do, we have more things that are going to try to hamper you. We'll have traps in the arena.
So I think that's a good.
We'll have increased mini bosses, and when you're at Favor Times 3, the ultimate test, because you want to stay at that the whole time for max rewards.
Yeah.
Your bonus objective time limits will be reduced by around 30%.
Okay.
So some things may take, maybe you have 2.5 minutes to complete something, and then it becomes 2 minutes.
Yeah.
Or you have a minute and 30 seconds.
Oh, so we have timers. Hell yeah, dude.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But that's
Put some pressure on everybody.
activity that makes it cool. People say that these activities kind of take a long time.
SMG looks pretty cool. I wonder what roles are going to be on it.
Activities,
Yeah.
the better you do, the Warden can actually
Looks like a 750 too.
encounter, and we've had in place.
Looks like a 750 as well, so it's pretty good rather than it being like a 600.
And that's when you're getting the most rewards. So this is kind of promoting like maybe you'll get bad luck and have some bad encounters.
Sure.
But the more you run it, you'll get more experience. You'll understand kind of how the flow is, and you'll be able to get a lot of rewards really fast and kind of experience the whole Prison of Elders in this new light.
Yeah.
Really cool.
And there's only that Achilles one. What other is there?
I mean, on one hand, to the community, what was that again? 28 minutes, you said?
28.
All right. When it comes out next week, the issue
They'll
has been
blow past
challenged.
that.
Yeah,
They'll
obviously,
blow past that.
No, I'm sure, but still, it's best to issue a
Wait for
challenge.
the
Let's-
solo run, too.
Yeah,
It's
that's
like,
like-
oh, I did this in 15
If you can
minutes.
solo in under 28 minutes, I will give you a title that I bestowed of very few people. You will be that guy, and I will at you on Twitter or something.
All right, well,
Not in game. Just gonna.
Not in game.
20 minutes?
Yeah,
Bet.
just like a
Subjunctive?
primary title.
Oh, come on now. Really? You're going to compare subjunctive to... Nah, you're not real. That SMG's dog water.
I guess, if you're learning the activities, if you're kind of just, getting beaten down a little bit, you have a chance to build yourself up a bit, kind of get a sense of the battle arena, the mechanics in place. That way, as you kind of build yourself up that higher Warden's favor, there
Fire Team is
are...
actually showing one of my favorite features. Which
Please.
we tried to give every
Oh,
boss
no.
a cool intro. So this boss descends in from a thresher from the ceiling. So
That's pretty cool.
every enemy race has their own kind of mechanic. So
I like that.
generally their mechanics revolve around portals.
Just fine, thank you very much. And you're tossing, thank you very much.
Explosive charges and blowing up things.
And guns.
that are- We'll see the dreads in a second, but the scorns are about like getting these explosive canisters and kind of making a makeshift explosive.
Yeah.
Internally, I like to call it the junkyard fantasy because like it's kind of like all junky and rusted and stuff.
Tinkering and putting it together.
Yeah, you put it together and then it makes this really cool. Shout out Mikola for doing this. He also made Liminality Strike, so shout out to him.
Oh.
He made a really cool thing where like you see the explosion trail like kind of get to the big explosive.
Oh,
and
like a fuse.
yeah, it's so cool.
Dude, I want to see Skolas so bad.
Be a Thresher because I'm having some memories from Neomuna. This is scaring me already.
Well, threshers are cool. And
I don't hate Vault Shot. Vault Shots are good, is good, but
silhouettes in Destiny. We don't often actually fight a Thresher as a boss, and the Thresher's not even the true boss.
I prefer Frenzy over it because I prefer a constant damage buff.
Main bosses for this fleet, so this is like kind of the
Scion Commander. Okay, this is good. Like they've got like some bosses like this.
And then it's gone. We got like
I like bosses like this because it's like,
Scions pop
okay.
deal with them now.
yeah, here you go. Here's just a big Scion, right? A big Scion is just dope. You know what I mean?
I
Like,
gotta ask as well, like this is...
not too complicated. It's just really simple. Just thrown in there. Here's a massive Scion. Ooh, what's
We
that?
got something actually cool to show right here. Also.
Please, yeah, dive in.
So
yeah.
players are probably very much like, why is the screen green?
Fair.
So critical objectives have been massively increased in like complexity, I believe.
Yeah.
So every time a boss starts, there's just a timer ticking down that we're not showing you, and then a critical objective will spawn. If you complete them or fail them, your Warden's Judgment will react accordingly. But what we ask you to do for these critical objectives are much more dangerous than like our normal stuff, which is like maybe get kills with abilities, get kills with the Scorch Cannon. This one is a certain level and below. All of it will be poison gas that does damage to you over time.
Yeah.
And the only way to turn it off is you have to turn off the switches that are also in the
Chat will be running this with chat all the time. So don't worry. If you want to farm it, you want to get all your stuff done, we'll be doing it all.
Done that before. All right.
Yes,
That's
all the time.
Yeah.
I've been at home just like by myself, just doing a Varix impression.
So just make sure you're in chat, basically.
That's how I'm going to talk to my cat.
And we'll be doing it all. It'll be amazing. We're going to have so much fun with this.
He has to exist around me anyway. He's well prepared.
I just think of insect.
How much loot did he get there?
Yeah.
3 chests? That's dope.
Chattering. I don't know. It's
And we see the wardens.
And then a rally banner.
So that's what I call. That's not what it's called.
Please, the
But that's what I like
principal's
to call it.
office.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Every time you complete a boss,
Give us the
you
loot.
get pulled
Show us the
to
loot.
chamber where the warden
Show us the loot.
based on how well you've done. This fire team has done very well. So they get 3 chests, and you get a rally banner that allows you to like kind of refresh your super and ammo and stuff before the next round.
Show us the loot.
Like judgment, calculating, punishment protocol averted. If you're in the warden's punishment while he's judging you in this like kind of Monopoly style like mini game, a punishment will happen. I don't want to spoil what that is, but I think it'll be very smart. But as we see,
Show us.
they were able to skip the cryopod encounter.
Scrap out. Combat melee attacks. Okay.
You would have to do that cryopod encounter again. But our fire team.
Ooh, I like this. How it's putting us in like different arenas like this.
Encounter every single time and kind of go through the prison much faster than you would normally.
Yeah. All right, really quickly. Also, please feel free to keep jumping back in.
So now we've got like a throne.
But Taylor, I want to quickly bug you. With your
Throne world like type arena, which is pretty good.
2 new weapons being added to the overall loot pool. Can you tell us a little bit about kind of the new season, or pardon me, act weapons rather, that we're going to be having?
Act weapons.
Yeah, sure. So we have like 2 new seasonal weapons or act weapons.
Got the SMG and the shotgun.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
There's an Arc Precision SMG, and then there's a
Christian orbs, right?
yeah, attrition orb. Yeah, it's got a bunch of perk rolls on it, which we'll get to in a second. And then a Void Precision shotgun, which has some Dust Rock blue jeans. If you,
Very nice.
yeah,
Very.
if you, we'll probably see the model in a few minutes, but
Yeah.
the resemblance is uncanny.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's a lot of cool rolls for both of these, both the PvE and
Yeah.
PvP.
Let's take a quick look.
So this one's got the new arc perk, jolting feedback.
Ooh.
Got loose change, attrition orbs, and a few other things that really.
Yeah, give me that.
synergize
Attrition
really well.
orbs.
You can
Yeah,
like-
I'ma have that SMG.
Just
SMG's
in
dope.
itself.
Yeah.
And then the shotgun, it's got a bunch of rolls both for PvE and PvP. You
Hmm.
get slide shot closing time. You can get
Slide shot
assist
closing
weapons,
time on a
the
slug?
shotgun changes. That we
That's
did in the
pretty good.
release. It will probably serve you pretty well.
Yeah. Having dusted off my 7th surf, so you can
That'll be pretty good in PvP, no chat?
changes on it.
Slide shot and closing time?
That's how such a small change can actually make a pretty big difference.
Oh!
Seriously.
It's not even more
He
damage.
just got
Yeah.
absolutely rolled!
To the new shotgun. Obviously PvP or PvE rather is going to get some nice buffs. You were saying the
Look! He's on one!
Yeah, no, I accept those. But at any rate, there was a PvP role you were talking about earlier as well. Like it's going to have a lot of versatility in the same.
Oh yeah,
box.
it's got a lot of rolls and it's precision frames, so I know it's like the most popular right now for PvP.
Yeah, been getting killed by those a lot these days. So in addition to these 2 new act weapons getting added to the pool, there's also one of the reprised ones as well that I'm personally pretty excited about from Season of the Splicer coming back. Grid Skipper.
Yes.
Grid Skipper. I wonder what that's gonna roll. Obi liked Grid Skipper, I think.
I have a very personal connection to this gun, so it was like one of my favorite things. I actually worked on helped work on the original set of these when they first came out. But I did the rolls on these.
Let's take a quick
It's
look.
got some classics from the past, and also some new rolls. Also, it's got a lot of options for both PvE and PvP.
Splicer Surge.
Demo and head
Okay.
sensor for PvP is probably pretty nice.
That's what I'm going to be going for.
My
at
original
that.
classic roll was Killing Wind multi-kill.
Dude, it's actually gonna be really good.
Origin will work pretty well.
Yeah.
I'm a compulsive reloader myself, so
Light Blade, chap. He's right here.
pulse and getting that splicer surge going.
Yeah.
After a couple kills, it pretty much like negates the major downside of rapid fire pulses of being like pretty low handling and reload.
My new main drip? I didn't see the drip.
You talked about in the twid, right?
Probably, yeah.
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 Of all the people, you chose the legendary weapon instead.
Can look up grids.
so-
Okay, well we'll check those out after chat.
If you could have one weapon made a replica, what would you want? A bunch of other people said.
What's up, homies? Zope and Cheese Shake.
It's a great answer.
Correct choice.
Yeah. There's no wrong choice in this, but you're very correct. Let's
Yo,
hear it.
Panther, thank you for the 8 months. Welcome back. Appreciate you.
Yeah.
Let's go. W's in the chat.
Grinding was a lot.
Yeah.
I want want to interject real quick because we're at a good time.
Yeah.
Chat.
So this is
We are 3 subs away from 9. Can we hit 3 subs? Can we get 3 subs?
reversal section. So these are different than how they were in the coil. I also want to shout out every player who died to my spike traps in the coil. I did that on purpose.
How dare
I don't
you.
feel bad.
This looks really good, like a really good activity, chat. Because it feeds nostalgia,
Like an evil DM.
while also, like he said at the beginning, right? They reimagined it,
Like
you know?
2 a.m. and it's me screaming at my ceiling. Noah, why did you do that?
Exactly. I
just-
see all the comments and I'm like,
He just smiles. Yeah, he just feels bad. Warms up his coffee. Yeah.
these are much shorter
Yeah.
than they were in the coil, but their goal is in Contest of Elders specifically, not Tomb of Elders, which is like 1 lap.
Yeah.
These have their own challenges that players have to complete. So for this one, it was kill every enemy, defeat every enemy that's there. There are some that's like collect a bunch of like fallen lights. I can't remember what they're called. They're like energy signals, or like defeat a boss within a certain amount.
Chat, we're gonna be running this non-stop. So lock in, get ready.
You know, transition.
We're gonna
areas
be
to make
running this
interesting.
non-stop.
And so we have like the piece de resistance right here. My son, everyone will be very excited to see this. This is one of my favorite intros.
And I might even solo this, chat.
And you were saying
Lucky.
the Dread and the Taken
Or
are
Psylocke.
this one, right?
I'd say the Taken are kind of taking the helm
Yeah.
of the Dread right now.
Look at this dude, chat.
They're stronger or anything, but because like Psylocke is just more experienced with the prison. I feel
Yeah,
like
honestly.
he's he was a model.
Is that caretaker music?
So they were like, we're asking from the best. All the
It
warriors.
is.
Yeah, honestly, yeah.
They got the caretaker, so they got some raid music in here, which is pretty cool.
Hanging out in the library, reading up on the law, right? Yeah.
Yeah, he was doing his
Yeah.
Yeah.
community service, all the works.
So what's the mechanic we're seeing at play here as well, by the
So
way?
this mechanic is a bad pun. So for everyone who loves Rift or really has even played Excision, instead of Spark Runner buff, it is Dark Runner, where you're picking up
Oh, this guy's funny with the jokes, chat.
Runner up to like ×3, where it'll say like Dark Runner Max, and then you dunk them in a Rift. And it
Yo,
changes based on like,
Wrath of the Machine mechanic for the start? Thoughts,
in
chat?
this, Psylocke will have a shield.
Different objective. It's happening right now too.
Oh yeah, we got the Rifleman is a critical objective, and the thing with that is there will be clones of the Rifleman that spawn around the arena.
Yeah.
You have to find the real one, but the clone's damage is real too. So
Yeah.
you got to make sure that you're not in their line of sight.
Yeah.
All these critical objectives are meant to be pretty tough.
People are the best, just
Yeah,
saying.
that's also
Hell yeah.
I mean, they're
not called-
critical.
It's not the sandbox of Elder,
W star fam.
Yeah.
right? Yeah. Thank you.
They die.
Loving how
Yeah.
dynamic all this is too, because even like through our practice runs and all that, we've seen a bunch of different modifiers and different objectives
Yeah.
pop up.
This is if I was to describe what design's goal was for this in one word,
Yeah.
it would be variable. There's so much that can change from a given run.
Episode 2, Attack of the Clones. Wow, you got the jokes today are
You'll go
wild.
to different cell blocks in different orders.
Yeah.
You'll have different objectives that'll pop up, different critical objectives, and you'll have different modifiers and like all this stuff. And based on how well you do, the dynamic, like enemies are harder or easier based on how well you do. Like it's a lot.
Yeah.
It's a lot, and I hope players can I'm looking at Dado and Astacross, make a good guide for this.
Yeah.
Because this is the big one. But I think
Yo, Shift. Thanks for the follow, homie. Chat BurginStarr.
the mode
Yeah.
a lot more. And
Show us the loop. Come on.
to offer, I think. And we're not going to show the treasure chamber, unfortunately, but that's kind of the whole thesis. We want everyone to get to that treasure chamber and
Yeah.
feel like however they played, they can get paid out based on how well they did.
Definitely.
And my goal was,
Where's my plug?
The worst level, if you're
I'm not cool enough.
punishment times,
We know
3,
this.
able to get to the max rewards in 1 lap.
Yeah. Just might take you a little bit longer.
Yeah,
might
you
be
just
a
have to
little
be
more
kind of
stress.
dialed in.
Yeah.
It'll be the phrasing of like, oh, I'm not angry, I'm just disappointed.
Exactly.
You got to earn these
You
rewards.
got to say it in a Varric's voice, though, too.
Oh, I'm not.
The
We'll get
Warden
back
has
to that.
so many lines. I want to shout out Olivia on narrative for writing all the lines.
Yeah.
He has, I think, I don't even know. I'm not going to make a number up right now, but he has a bunch, and they
lot, yeah.
range from being I'm very proud of you to come on, man, you got to do a little better than that.
Yeah,
it kind of
honestly.
pushes you to kind of just want to make him proud.
Yeah.
because
He's not mad. He's just disappointed.
just
right?
disappointed.
Yeah, exactly. Dylan is the father here. He's used to saying that to me.
I don't use the slang like you do.
I mean, I got that Skibbity Ohio riz, unfortunately. But
What was that?
moving right along.
No way you just said that.
Taylor, I wanted to go ahead back to you.
There's no way, right?
Two artifact mods joining this time around as well.
Okay, we go. Artifact mods, chat. This is big.
Through and see what we got here.
Yeah. So we've got the last.
Melee?
Sorry.
The armor energy costs of all armor mods affecting your melee are significantly discounted. Okay.
Discount for all your melee
I was like, oh
mods,
please.
improvement.
Mantis
to
reinforcements
emergency
consumes
reinforcements,
all but
so
one.
like you get a heal when you're low health. Got
Rapid
a
final
armor
blows
charge,
while surrounded, grant you armor charge.
Boost there
Eh.
gives you more weapon handling and charge rate for swords.
And the boost comes from tonic.
Curate orbs.
Yeah, so
First
we
time you
want-
break combat shields will create an orb of
This, I
power.
think, is a variant of one of the older mods that is when you break a combatant shield, you get an orb of power, and then the boost on this actually is going to be really nice, which is picking up an orb of power or elemental pickup or tangle gives you a bit of health, which kind of replicates the leg armor mods.
I mean, that'll be okay for like
And this can free you up a lot
GMs
of
and
that,
stuff
you know,
for like tie-ins when we're
Safe Thunder with a
speeding.
new helmet, and that's
Yeah.
going to be pretty good for that.
Yeah.
And also just for staying alive in
Yeah.
this activity since it's kind of spicy.
Someone who's been a very punchy punch hunter these days with my Rorschach build, as I call it.
Yep.
Yeah, those like there's a lot of mods in this row that I'm really looking forward to having.
Tomb of Elders activities are very.
Arc Souls deal increased damage to blind
Definitely
targets.
gonna be king here.
I can't wait.
And we got
What's the buzzword? Enemy density.
We'll have to play around, chat, but like those don't sound anything crazy, right?
arc compounding, which I believe was maybe in an older artifact, which is arc sources deal more damage to blinded targets, which might actually pair really well with the changes that got done to Exteris, since the moths there will be
That's right.
blind to blind for yourself, and then
Yeah, yeah.
also it's a grenade launcher, so it kind of gets to double dip with all the grenade launcher
Yeah.
mods in this.
And to that end as well, quickly for anyone who may not read through every patch note necessarily, quick update. What were the changes you guys made to Exteris?
Yeah, we did some QL stuff, get a little bit more ammo, but the main thing was flattening out the projectile behavior a bit, so it goes to a little bit higher velocity, less gravity, so you can more easily hit stuff from range. And then if you get multiple direct hits quickly, you also get a moth in the same way that you would on the kill trigger. So it'll scale into some higher difficulty content a bit easier, and it does some work if you have like one big target to just lay into.
Yeah. All right, we're gonna get back to some gameplay here in a second, but really quickly before we move on as well, we were talking before the show. There are some changes happening to roaming supers as well.
Yeah. So
Oh, they are?
you may have seen earlier we had our Warlock here on Stasis Lock, but one of the things we're doing in this Act 2 patch is we're buffing all the roaming supers. So for context, that's like your Storm Trance, Vista Havoc, where you're in the super for a while, versus the one-shot supers like Nova Bomb, Tether.
Are they?
etc.
Did they just basically tell us they're buffing Song of Flame?
Damage-based rechargers, specifically in PvE.
Right. Yes.
Specifically
Only in PvE, not PvP.
You'll be charged like through active combat. You'll be charging the roaming supers, but like 2 to 3 times faster than normal.
Yeah.
So it's like a pretty big swing with the kind of the idea that you want to move these a little bit closer to your neutral game.
Yeah.
Or something you feel more comfortable popping. Like,
Did they just buff Song of Flame?
feel like you need to keep it for when you kind of need it. You can use it pretty actively because you can get it back ready.
Yeah.
Like relatively quickly.
Yeah, you used the I think a great analogy earlier of like it's not the hyper potion in your backpack you hold on to forever because
Yeah,
you need it
we
that
want to
boss
try
fight.
and break
Just
that habit.
use
We
it.
understand it's a hard habit to kick. but-
As someone again who uses the super basically only in the final phase of any boss fight.
Yep,
I get
yeah,
it, so.
it's years and years of Destiny have trained me very well to do that too. So it was interesting seeing him play.
Don't get me wrong, the other supers need
a
it.
bit to kind of adapt to it, but once we got used to
A song?
how quickly they were coming back, it was like a lot of fun because it opens up a lot more things too. Because like now there's a bunch of exotics that are tied to roaming supers that are kind of just instantly more valuable without needing to change a whole lot of stuff.
Totally.
So it shakes things up. Get some.
This is sounding pretty good.
Sounds enticing for like Onslaught, Coil, Tomb of Elders.
Yeah,
like now you
the
have more
stuff
ad
where
clear
you
stuff.
like
Contest of Elders.
Sorry,
the
content.
objective is speed
Yeah.
versus just like burst damage or something.
Right.
Um,
Yeah, and just upping that
some
versatility
interesting
factor,
options.
honestly, of all
yeah,
of you know?
yeah, just bringing some other stuff kind of back in the limelight.
Yeah, no, very excited. The build crafters out there in the audience, you've got your work cut out for you now. Go ahead and start adjusting those variables in your various spreadsheets and everything.
I was about to say the same thing. When
Yeah.
you see the spreadsheets, when I eat lunch, I sometimes just
Yeah.
put on a video and I'm like, let me see what the meta is.
Yeah, I'll be honest, the spreadsheets are cool.
Yeah, no.
Then you have Bjorndal internally, where it's like, what's
But, like,
going to be in a month?
Tell us in game.
Yeah,
I will
Just
admit,
tell us in the game.
When I got a sneak peek at Alethanim, I went home that day and built like a stasis loadout just in preparation for it, more or less. The stand-in was I can't remember the name of it. At any rate, but the exotics or the exotic scout rifle
oh wait, what Demon's Tale or
from Season of the Deep.
Wicked Implement.
Thank you, Wicked Implement. There we go. This is.
Sorry, I had to.
Thank you.
Scroll back my brain a bit.
I appreciate it. There's only one scout rifle in my brain, and it's just the dead man's tail. So
Yeah,
I get
that's
it.
why.
Okay, look, I'm confused here, right?
All right, so we've obviously got.
I
a lot of
like
good stuff arriving with
the
this season in
community
terms of
has this
activity
whole
and
big
weapons, but
community
Dylan,
feel,
I want to turn my
but
attention solely
just tell us in the game. I want it in the game.
In addition to the cool content being added, you've got some notes prepared. I see. We've got some cool stuff to go ahead.
Have notes.
There it is. All right.
Okay, hit us with it. It's exciting.
We've got some
Let's
cool
go.
arriving in the form of. Let's go ahead and start from the top. We're doing a partnership with Street Fighter.
Yeah.
Coming up. Can you tell us a little bit about the cool stuff that we're going to have available through that partnership?
Maybe.
All right. Well, what if I ask? Please, may you tell us?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay,
I mean,
there we go. All
so
right.
you've seen a few things through
Street
gameplay.
Fighter.
We have a bunch of cosmetics. Like the first thing you can see here is a wonderful set of ghosts. So
Comment down below if you
your,
played Street
Ken,
Fighter.
Ryu,
Comment if you
your
played Street
I
Fighter.
wouldn't want my ghost to get into a fist fight with the with any of the bosses really, but that one looks like they could take.
The Ryu
him on,
one's
right?
pretty swole, I gotta say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna punch every face of the witness.
There's a lot, so you better get to work.
Yeah. And then one of our players has actually been running around with a Blanca helmet, which is, so it's not one class that gets this. It's going to be universal ornament. The helmet goes on all characters, Hunter, Titan, Warlock, which is going to be great. And then
That's pretty dope.
Your Titan Arc Super, you could throw on Storm Trance and
Yeah.
go and kind of role play with some of that electricity, right?
Yeah, honestly. Yeah, just really live up that fantasy of being Blanca after all this time. Maybe not as swole as him necessarily, but still, it's a step in the right direction.
Right.
Speak for yourself.
That is actually pretty dope.
All right.
Yeah,
we
they're,
all know, Noah, that you're just way cooler than all of us. Okay, stop rubbing it in.
As long as we know.
The vending machine, man. Oh my god.
So there are also 3 finishers. You might have seen those sprinkled in through the gameplay. Lightning Kick, Spinning Bird, Hadouken. I
What
can't do that.
are you?
Whoa, we got wings. Chad, did you just see that? We got wings on a Warlock.
In the joke or
Significantly
We'll leave
better.
the comments.
Yeah.
Significantly better. Yeah.
and then we got some emotes that we can show off too, which are a pretty good time.
Yeah. Let's see here. We'll see what we.
Have they always been there? Or are these new?
Anyway.
There we go.
There we go. Yes. All right. So we've got some emotes to show off as well.
Dude, that emote's pretty cool. It's got the
Group emote here.
the health bar overlook. Look at the health bars above them. Look, that's actually pretty cool, man.
So good.
That's. I wonder if it's RNG on who wins too.
And then we got a bonus round.
That's
Let's
right.
go.
Yeah. It's not exactly a Honda Civic, but it's just as much fun to go ahead and beat
I
up.
want to do a shout out to every Guardian in the tower. 1997 Honda Civic Adept. I see you. I love you.
It's an
Dude,
important
what's that on his
role to play,
back?
so, yeah.
Yeah.
Chat. What's that on his back?
Like, this is going to be my new Trials intro. I can already tell.
Right.
Honestly.
Then we actually have a segue on screen already with the armor that has been adorned.
Yeah, well, let's go ahead and rotate over there. With the arrival as well of this act, the Dawning is going to be making its return as well on December 10th. I believe.
Let's go.
Let me check my notes. Yes, December 10th. Yeah, 10 a.m. right at reset. We'll have the Dawning coming back.
Cookies,
The
chat.
theme for our armor is going to be.
We get to bake
Space
cookies.
Dragon, which is really great. And then the team did a bunch.
Oh, it's dragon? It's a dude. Dude, this Warlock armor goes hard. This might be the best.
Just look pretty on all the armor that I'm getting.
Yeah.
Bro.
Park, especially with that Celestial Star map.
All right.
So
Yeah.
each
Take my
boss
money.
Get their dragon on. It's going to be a great time. These armor sets you can get for silver or bright dust.
Get those bank cards out, chat.
Shout out to the team on the Pathfinder changes in the last episode launch. Yeah, lots of bright.
Yeah, well, W Pathfinder.
These armors pretty quick. And then Dawning, yeah, we're gonna have your favorite cookie baking activities coming back, going around to all of your different vendors, giving them nice treats, giving some raisins to Eris, that kind of stuff.
Right.
There have been a couple of quality of life changes that I want to call out from the team. Let's see here. Let's see. Dark Frosting. So it's not just going to be Stasis anymore. Both of your Darkness subclasses, Strand and Stasis, are going to make that easier. And then for every Guardian out there that's been saying, hey, this specific ingredient is not dropping for me, we're upping the drop rates for all those.
Thank
so
God.
If you're using Void, trying to get that null taste or whatever,
And we are.
you'll start getting that a little bit more frequently.
I never had an issue.
Stop it. Okay. Don't
Well,
do that.
yeah, you're the lucky one. Here.
Yeah.
Built different.
Devly.
Classic Taylor. Geez, yeah, the Deathloop.
Yeah. Imagine having the
Dawning and
imagine having the developer buff.
You can actually earn double perks as well. So if you're trying to get the new linear fusion rifle with some spicy rolls, it's going to be nice to earn a pathway to a couple in the columns. But if we could get a preview.
Yeah, let's take a look.
Yeah. So adaptive burst, beautiful fusion rifle. There's already actually a pretty spicy roll on the screen right now. So on the left column,
No.
internally we call it
Was it
box
in gaze?
beacon.
Like box breathing.
What is what's the actual?
Withering Gaze.
Withering Gaze. So aim down sights for a bit, and then you
Chat, what's the weaken on Withering Gaze?
you can weaken your targets, and then in the right column, bait and switch. So amp up your damage, weaken your target. That's actually going to be a pretty spicy roll. Vice Stinger 2 to get a bunch of your ammo back. But if you're actually worried about ammo, Envious Arsenal, it's one of the hottest perks of this season or of this episode. Sorry, this act. Those are going to pair really.
I don't
well
think it is
with, later
15%.
coming out.
Bait and switch has become the darling child of my heavy ammo slot, honestly, so I'm excited to see this. Also, I think we were talking earlier, after being such big fans of Stormcaller, seeing another adaptive burst, linear fusion rifle on the map is pretty exciting, honestly. Storm Chaser, thank you, Storm Chaser, my mistake.
Yeah, shout
That
out
was a test,
Storm-themed content in that game, if you haven't noticed.
A Void one's pretty interesting, though.
Midwest, he actually does some storm chasing as a hobby, so he's like, I need that gun. Love you,
I remember that, yeah.
Yeah, and then outside of the new weapon, there are going to be a bunch of reprised weapons with new roles. So your fusion rifle, pulse rifle, glaive, sword, and the machine gun. Big shout out to Lego LaFlash. He's my go-to content creator for fusion rifle rolls and Glacioclasm. You may see it in the Crucible, may shake your fist at it a couple times, but there are going to be some more rolls.
This thing's an absolute monster in PvP.
Mopping the floor with people with fusions. I fully expect this to be added into your.
The range on this thing is nuts.
Fusion rifle, let's go.
Nothing wrong with it.
Yeah.
We can't be friends anymore.
I mean, on Glacioclasm, there's going to be Lone Wolf closing time, so push out that range, tighten up that cone.
Lone Wolf,
Right now. You're
dude.
giving everyone ideas, Dylan. Okay.
Sorry, what was that?
It's tough enough to get to the lighthouse these days. You're giving everyone ideas. All right.
Yeah, I hope they come in and ruin my day. It makes for great clips. Yeah, and I mean, so strange coins are actually going to be added to the Dawning gifts as well.
Yeah.
So,
nice.
like with Festival of the Lost, you could get the exotic class items with candy and that kind of stuff. With Dawning, you're going to get higher drop rate of those strange coins from giving out those gifts, and then you can go to Zur, you can get your exotic class items or the Zerf board actually too.
Oh, nice. So
it's not necessarily a catch-up mechanic, but we know, hey, you might not be going into strikes or Crucible and earning strange coins, so we're trying to spread the love a bit.
Nice.
So
I think that's a W, right? Putting strange coins in there.
I keep setting you up for these, and then
I know.
I don't think that's a bad
I'll
thing.
tell you what, I'll do you a solid, set you up for one. We have one more cool little thing actually. There's a new fashion set that's being added to Act 2 as well. The players have been pretty excited about it. They may have caught wind of it, but can you tell us a little bit about what we're seeing here, Dylan?
So by the power of the moon, the team has done absolute beautiful work on some Doki Doki Destiny sets. We got your Warlock and your Titan there, showing off their fashion, pondering an orb, if you will. But
why?
I mean, this has been a set long time coming. We hope players enjoy throwing on some bows, some ribbons, and just having a fun time in fashion. If you want to go super black and be gothic cutesy set, that's going to be.
It's a great time for that, honestly.
Yeah, right.
This is available through Silver.
This is going to be Silver and Bright Dust.
And Bright Dust.
Again,
Okay.
Yeah, if you're going in doing your Pathfinders, all that kind of stuff.
If you're gonna get this set,
it'll be available.
make sure to leave a like on the video
Gonna be a good time.
so I can know how many of you won this set, this armor set.
Be really dialing it
Let's
up.
see. Any other notes? Oh, I do want to give a shout out.
Oh, please.
Yeah, I mean, like at the top of the show, I was saying I'm an emissary of the team, but ultimately there are a ton of people that make cool content. Like we have Noah Taylor here right now, but big thank you to Mike Profeta, Joshua B, CJ Payne, Brad Fisher, Mercules, and Michelle on test as well for working on a bunch of these sandbox changes, a bunch of these Dawning goodies.
Yeah.
There are a ton of unsung heroes at Bungie, from IT to like the folks behind the stream and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
It's a group effort, and I'm really excited for what's to come.
Yeah. No, I mean it's nice. Let's make those thankless jobs ones that get a lot of thanks. Honestly, they deserve it for all the
I have a
hard work
shout out also. I
Please.
want to shout out Keenan for everything you saw in Tomb of Elders and contest. Every arena, he had made it himself, and it is beautiful. As we
Nah,
see.
man.
I want to shout out.
No, we don't need that, chat. We don't need that in the game.
Yeah. Taylor, anyone you got for you?
Yeah, Vivian on the Scorn weapons and that origin perk.
Yeah.
Matt Dowling for all his work on the release.
Yeah.
And then Denny for something we might talk about in a bit.
Interesting.
We'll get to that.
What an interesting little tease that is.
Yeah, I mean, teams are stronger than heroes is one of the Bungie pillars.
Yeah.
And it's like in the game, this is where you see it in full force because everything is made by so many hands.
Yeah, honestly, that's something I always say.
You talking about the one that's always happy,
It takes
cats?
a lot of people to come together. This coalescence of
I
technical.
can't remember her name, but
really make a lot of cool stuff happen.
she's
So,
always happy, and I love it.
Make sure and give additional thanks at the end.
She's always smiling, always happy.
Even now, working hard.
I can't remember what her name is though.
Chapters of Destiny. Thank you all so much. We appreciate it.
Do I have any other notes?
Do you have any other notes?
I think Oh yeah, last thing. We've had a lot of players asking about Iron Banner.
Oh, right. Thank you.
Yeah, November 26th. So the week after the act launches, we'll have Iron Banner coming back with a new armor set and a couple new weapons that a certain somebody might have
A couple
details
new
on.
weapons. Can you give us a tease? There was a sidearm. I remember we were talking about a little bit earlier. Yeah.
Stasis, rocket sidearm with chill clip. I think some people have already found that, but yeah, that'll be available soon.
I just like all those words, honestly.
Hell yeah, man.
Yeah, I cannot wait, honestly.
Archon's Thunder, baby. Get your machine gun on.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Okay. All right. It's been a while. Just even the look of that one, honestly, I'm smitten by. But
yeah,
that nice classic solar machine gun is a lot of fun.
Yeah, but we'll have a ton of twids between now and end of December when we go dark. But we'll have a bunch of stuff on Iron Banner. Dawning, all the goodies in there. We have a bake-off event that's going to be going on in the game where you can earn some cosmetics and emblems.
Yeah.
And, yeah, we have a lot of
Bake-off
going through the end of the year.
Very nice, excellent. Well,
The great
we also,
Destiny Bake-Off.
as is the case with these streams, we're getting near the end of our agenda here for today. But as is the case, typically, we're going to leave you with just one more thing as well. Now, as a quick heads up, the launch of Act 3, pardon me, is going to be on January 7th. So given that that's right after 2025 rolls around, many of us will be at home spending time with our families and loved ones, or if you're like me,
Maybe we could think of something to do a giveaway of something like that, Cats.
But
maybe.
So as a result, we won't be actually having an Act 3 stream. So unmark those calendars for the stream, but make sure you log in that day because with the arrival of Act 3, shortly after the arrival or right when it launches, we'll defer that to a twit to make sure we get that date spot on. There's going to be a new exotic weapon.
I told you to do the exotic mission today.
With it, a new exotic shotgun as well that we're going to actually take a look at here today. Now, the name of the quest we're not going to spoil for you because it has some story implications. But Taylor, I'd love to put you on the spot real quick. Can you tell us a little bit about what we're looking at here?
Yeah, so this is Slayer's Fang. It's
Slayer's
pretty
Fang.
unique, slug shotgun. Where it fires a single slug round that once it impacts a target or
What did that do?
surface, like environment, the slug shatters in a bunch of secondary projectiles. And then once you get a kill, you get true sight for a short period of time, and then the shattered projectiles will weaken targets that they hit, and they get a bit smarter with their tracking.
Very nice.
What do you mean I ain't getting a bro?
A pretty unique reload.
Yeah.
For a shotgun.
Crystal in that?
Yeah, it's like a small void crystal. Like I think the theme is like the projectiles are like hitting surface and they shatter into bits.
Yeah.
We went down as a squad of 9. We're turned into void crystals and are now in an exotic weapon.
Hey, I mean, we turn
everything and everyone into weapons around here.
Sorry, chat. Technical difficulties right there.
A worm.
But,
a very sassy worm.
Yeah,
at that, but.
also fully reloads.
Okay, this shotgun looks pretty cool.
It's not shell by shell.
Yeah, was it the whole? So it's the whole magazine.
Ooh.
Not necessarily. Okay.
Did they say if it was a precision chat? Did I miss that?
That's as I possibly can.
yeah.
if I'm being
Your
honest.
Falcon? Yeah.
Very curious if no
Looks like one single slug, right?
Might happen.
Well, they will now.
Yeah. Also benefits from the shotgun changes that happen.
Yeah, that's true. Honestly,
Actually, like
That's good how it reloads fully though in one. Fuck. That's really cool.
like,
Really looking forward to playing around with this thing.
quests have done with this, like Choir 1, etc. Be a bunch of things to do in the activity, intrinsic levels to unlock, and a handful of catalysts.
Like, I wonder what catalysts it'll give you. I mean, I wonder if like we'll get anything like trench barrel or something.
The audience are gonna have plenty to sink their teeth into.
Yes.
Yeah.
And a few other,
You know?
maybe secret things to do.
Maybe secret things. All right, that's cool. Well, when they
Maybe secret.
maybe secret.
That'd be pretty cool, no?
It's for you to find out.
Yeah, we'll wait for the YouTubers to make their Pepe Sylvia wall of all the different secrets that exist in there at some point. But for now, that actually leads us to the end of our series of events. My page of notes has gone ahead and concluded. So today we actually had a quick chance to go ahead and dive in and take a look, pardon me, at a little bit of what's to arrive with Act 2 of episode Revenant. Huge thanks to Noah for walking us through the Contest of Elders and the new Team of Elders.
WDev stream, honestly.
Taylor, thank you a ton for walking
You know,
us through
for an
the
act
weapons that are going to be
of an
arriving, along with
episode
some
is
other
pretty
changes
pretty
that are
dope,
gonna
no?
be going along with it.
Absolutely. I love talking about this.
New activity, a lot of
It's
loot.
been even just before the
New
stream,
loot,
being
new
here,
armor
it's been so
sets.
much fun. So thank you all for joining us, and of course to Dylan for kind of walking us through a little bit of what's to come, including the stuff with the Dawning, the Street Fighter 6 partnership, the Doki Doki set that is no jokey jokey. Thank you, Dylan. We appreciate you taking the time.
No worries.
Had to get one more in.
Good. I'm sorry.
Never
All right.
be free.
I'm excited to go home and get some hot dogs from Garden of Salvation that this man worked on. So I mean, sorry, deep sights. So
Deep side.
Tomato to hot dog. It's all right. It works out well.
What is going on?
It's we're all going mad in here. No.
Nice.
So thank you again to all you fine folks in the audience for joining us. to our
And yet you'll still be playing, Yeti.
Ashley, Justin, and Peyton, as always, for doing the heavy lifting. Thank you all so much for taking the time to join us. To the incredible crew here in-house that has the distinct challenge of trying to make me look good, thank you all so much. It's a joy.
Don't worry, Andy. You look good, bro.
And then, of course,
I got your back. Andy looks good.
Here to all of you out there, thank you for taking the time to join us today. We appreciate getting a chance to hang out with you and show off a little bit of what we've been working on. But in the meantime, make sure to go ahead and follow us at Destiny the Game on Twitter, Facebook, really your platform of choice. And otherwise, take care of yourselves, take care of each other, and we'll see you all Star side.
BurginStarr. GG. GG's. They did well with this, low-key. There's a brand new activity, obviously, which is obviously going to be pretty cool to run. We're going to have a bit of a nostalgia in there. You're going to have the bosses. You're going to have the loot, you know, like with the Seraph loot. Not Seraph loot. Splicer loot, sorry. Ignition code, all that sort of stuff. We're going to get Grid Skipper back with some cool new rolls, which could be cool. We obviously saw the exotic shotgun, which looks pretty good as well. I'm excited to try that out, especially with being a slug and you can reload it in like one like slug reload. That's it. Drop a comment down below what you're most excited for. I'd appreciate it. Subscribe to the channel. Leave a like on the video if you're going to be getting that armor set. What did they call it? Jokey set. I said it apparently, and I'm sorry for saying it, but there we go. So drop a like on the video if you're going to be getting that. Excited for baking some cookies, and we'll see you in the next one.